Okay, so what is it that you do different?
So when you get actually, we'll come to how it starts to unfold step by step. But when you're getting the right nutrition, when you're getting enough protein, protein is satiating. When you get enough healthy fats, you will not be hungry. Someone who tells me they can eat all day, they can eat at any time, they're always hungry, they're never satisfied. If I look at their diet, I find that it's mostly carbohydrates.
Okay, so again, you're debunking the theory where people say that if you don't have enough carbohydrates, your mind stops working. You begin to start forgetting.
Oh no, that's really not true at all. I mean, so we find that when people are fasting, so where's the word food coma coming from? Have you ever heard of fasting coma?
Never.
You heard the word food coma?
Yes.
So overfeeding yourself will cause lethargy. We say we want carbs for energy, but that's a distortion actually. So yes, the brain needs glucose.
Yeah.
But there is no essential carbohydrate. Why? Because the body is so intelligent, it puts in multiple safety checkpoints that if glucose needs to reach the brain, we will make sure that even if no carbohydrates come in, we will do what is called gluconeogenesis, which means gluco is glucose, neo is new, genesis means make. So make new glucose from anything.
And the body can do that?
It does that. It does that every day when you sleep. Your body will use anything that's available, or whether it's carbohydrates, proteins, or fats, and produce glucose. So people who do 7-day, 8-day fasts, no carbohydrates coming in, blood glucose is not a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
The liver is manufacturing glucose. So you need a healthy liver.
Yeah, in fact, I know I'm a big proponent of fasting. You know, I believe in intermittent fasting. I also fast on Ekadashi days. And I feel that the body and our digestive system needs rest. And while resting that, I'm so much more energized out there in my brain.
Yes.
I can meditate better. I can have a longer day. I can start out at 5 and continue till 2. And the energies are not going down. The energy levels are just rising when the body is less taxed with food. Right?
Exactly.
But nobody else around me, whether it's in my friend circle or my family, believes that. They're like, you just eat too little. So is there anything as too little or too much food? What is the average that pehle to bolte they just eat as much as that can fit in your palms, just as much as your fist size is what you must eat today. But in a life of overabundance where everything is so easily available at whatever time of the day, just touch a button, Swiggy, and these guys are there at 2 or 3 in the night where they're delivering. And I think these are the wrong lifestyle things that are leading to obesity.
Yeah.
So is there a time window? I believe in the circadian rhythm, but is there a time window when you feel one can have a little bit of carb?
Well, you can have carb. There's nothing like don't have it or it's bad for you, but it's not essential for you. So I don't tell people what to do. This is the difference, right? I'm not going to say stop this, that's bad for you, this is good for you. I am a Google Map navigation system. I'm non-judgmental. Yeah? Non-judgmental. There's no right carb or wrong carb. Carbs are not needed. If you want to have it, let's be clear. Why are you having it? You're having it for taste, for pleasure, for comfort, for family heritage, for mithai, for prasad. There's so many reasons we keep carbs in our life. I eat carbs. I do. I like them. Yeah. But is it all I do with myself for my nutritional needs?
It's about balance.
It's about balance. It's all about balance.
Well said. So, is there any need? What are the need-based foods and what are the want-based foods? If we can categorize, like, let's break it down. Like, if I say milk and milk products,
Not essential.
not essential. So, let's look at a typical Indian vegetarian diet. What are the essentials in this vegetarian diet?
So if they're vegetarian, again, essential proteins, essential healthy fats. So I find that adding in the healthy fats is not difficult. It's the protein which is the hardest. So a vegetarian is going to need the beans, the lentils, the legumes, dals, pulses as a primary option for protein, as an unprocessed food.
Soya?
Yeah. If they're vegetarian, there's really, there will be, you hear things about
Tofu.
Yeah.
Soya.
So again, trying to be as minimally processed, the whole soybean is probably a preferred option rather than the highly processed, chunky or instant, like soak in water. It's the processing has happened, but if I have to be too picky, so I don't want to sound like a dietitian who's going to say only eat this, don't eat this. There is some body intelligence to try and extract protein from what you give it. but the more processing it has undergone, we really don't have great data on how much of that protein is bioavailable. So plant-based protein is considered less bioavailable than animals. So we want to get as much high-quality protein, unprocessed protein to the vegetarians. In that sense, if they're not going to have eggs, they're not going to have dairy or milk products, they will probably need a protein supplement.
Right then. So there are a lot of athletes today we know that are vegans. How do they get their energy levels? And
They will need a protein supplement, but I don't even, so even a sedentary person, if their nutrition is not giving them 1.2 grams of protein per kg body weight, they will need a protein supplement. It's not just that the protein supplement is for the people who exercise. Let me give you an analogy here. Is we were made from DNA, mother and father, one strand each, and that's how the human life was created. If you remember from way back from biology class, what does that DNA code for? Its codons, its 3 nucleotide sequences. Each of them codes for an amino acid in a certain order, the code pairs. What is an amino acid? So all of DNA is coding is protein. That's the only thing that you can make from your DNA is protein.
so well said. I mean, so obvious and yet so overlooked.
We don't connect the dots that we were made from DNA to who we are every day. Whatever our DNA does for us is through making it, right? So it is essential if you are alive and if you're making your body, if you believe you're being made from DNA, you need that much protein.
Absolutely. So you're saying there's a lot of debate on too much protein causing kidney problems and too much protein and these protein supplements causing of course a lot of kidney problems, but also causing heart attacks and causing other disabilities. And so is this true, or again this is a big bit?
No, this is like saying that somebody passed away in the gym, so exercise is bad for you. Somebody's catching some anecdotal data, okay, and making a big media sensation about it. I have never seen somebody's kidneys get harmed by overdose of protein. But India has very effectively spread this rumor and this gossip, and I'm waiting for a TED Talk invitation where I should be talking about India's protein myths and protein phobias as the root cause of our epidemic in this country. We are so afraid of protein, we effectively gossip and rumor spread that protein harms the kidneys. You know where I see kidney damage? From carbohydrate predominant chronic diseases connected to insulin resistance, protein deficient. People will say uric acid. Like, your uric acid is high. You're not even getting the protein. You're high carb. So these are rumors. I don't know how come they got so viral and they've been held on to. Oh, stop all protein, stop dal, your protein is high, your uric acid is high, my urine protein. If your urine is spilling protein and you're not eating protein, why are you gaining protein?
Exactly. I mean, this is the thing, Roshani, that I'm so glad we're talking to you today, because here is an endocrinologist, someone who understands food and can break it down for us and tell us, because a lot of dietitians and nutritionists, oh, you have uric acid increase, you should not have protein, bring down the dals, bring down the pulses, so what is that vegetarian going to eat?
Yeah, and the single thread of truth in that was xanthines and purines convert to uric acid, so they're telling you to want a low xanthine, low purine diet. But eating xanthine-rich or purine-rich foods, which includes legumes, spinach, green leafy vegetables, dals, those are the protein sources for the vegetarian, and it has not been proven to cause gout or uric acid attacks. So it's actually just
So what causes gout and uric acid?
insulin resistance.
Oh wow! And you could be completely non-diabetic, yet be insulin resistant and have high uric acid, but nobody's connecting these dots.
No, sugar, processed carbohydrates, excess consumption of fruits and liquid sugars are the number one drivers of fructose that I see. Number one drivers of uric acid that I see.
Awesome. I mean, that's great information, Roshani. And I think we'd like to end this by, what are the things that you would recommend for a good diet on an everyday basis to remain healthy, fit, and maximizing your energy potential? What are the things that we must essentially incorporate into our diet every day?
Okay, first I'm going to answer with a joke. Okay, can I crack a joke?
Yeah, of course.
Is human beings are the only species that need to ask each other what to eat. True. No other species on Earth that is so confused. And it is a mix of us disconnecting from our food sourcing. We've moved away, we've become urban and modernized. That we've gone away from the farms and the fields and the foraging and the hunting and gathering. So we have now middleman in between, and there's a money trail there, which profits from us being confused about this. Whether it is the diet prescribing that we do, or it is the complex nutraceutical products, or the pharmacology medications, or the sickness industry, or the junk food processed food industry, or the health supplement industry. There are way too many people invested in us not knowing how to eat. So now to answer what to eat, I'll tell you what we eat in my house. All four of us in my house eat different. And God bless that we have help that, we were able to manage this. In the lockdown also we were managing it. But it is nice to have someone helping you make home cooked meals. Because the minute you say, I'm not able to prepare my own food, you're now outsourcing a very big piece of your health to an industry.
So well said. And the young urban adult is outsourcing food.
Because people are busy. We've got double income families, women are entering workforce. It's a good thing that women are also financially now equal. But hey, then that means the guys also need to get involved in helping decide about food. Women don't come born with food preparing skills, right?
Yes.
So if they're in the career track with just like the guys, I joke about this, right? I went to MBBS college. I didn't go to chapati making college after the classes with the guys. We all went for the same classes. And we were not trained cooking more than the men were. So if we're entering workforce, we need to neutralize that gender gap when it comes to being responsible for feeding myself, right? And we have kids. I've got girls, you've got boys. We want them to know how to feed themselves. We're not putting them in cooking school. They're busy studying and making careers. At some point, if we don't empower the next generation to know how to feed themselves, we're already seeing the epidemic hitting faster, younger, children with fatty livers, children with obesity, type 2 diabetes. So yeah, coming to how do we eat. I try to avoid dairy products. Everybody else in my house is okay with dairy products. We all start with chilla in the morning, where if I'm willing to eat eggs, so my husband and I will put eggs on our chilla, so it's like 23 gram per chilla, and we have 2 of those, so we have 40 grams of protein done.
And you put the egg yolk also.
Yeah. There's no proof that egg yolks raise blood cholesterol.
But again, this is a misnomer. The egg yolk is thrown and just the egg whites. And my son does that too. So, I'm like, dude, the most important part of the egg is gone out.
Yes.
But for some reason, there's a lot of bad spoken about the yolk.
Well, I was also prey to that wrong information that was out there. And my prescriptions from 10 years ago say egg whites. Okay. I used to order egg white omelets. But I didn't know, and I hadn't done my own reading, and I just copy-pasted stuff that was told to me. The rumors that were told to me, I was believing them, so I started reading about it. Actually, there's no proof.
And so the whole egg is always better than just the egg white?
No, it's one of the best sources of complete protein, healthy fats, vitamins. It's making a whole new life.
And what is the right balance of eggs in a day?
I've seen people healthy with I eat 6 eggs a day. I've seen people healthy with more than that. I haven't seen anybody get sick from doing eggs.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's put it the other way. People ask me how much protein is going to be safe for me. I'm like, well, protein malnutrition is already dangerous for you. So why don't you first get to that level where I think you're going over, and then we'll talk. Right now, you're way being, So, I don't want to get bulky on the muscles. I said, do it and show me. We're all working so hard to bulk up. It's so difficult to get bulky muscles. Okay, so do it and show me. But yeah, so protein chilla, or one of my kids, she actually isn't hungry in the morning, so she kind of does like a circadian thing, and she takes her first snack at 9:50 in school. The other one is enjoying her eggs and a piece of toast. Okay, I insist there's got to be enough protein in the breakfast, 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast. So that way you're not hungry, you're not crashing through the day. Lunch, again for me, I get my protein shake at lunch along with my vegetables, my dal, my sabji. And other people in the family are doing flour, they're doing maybe a roti. But in my house, between 4 people, we probably make like 2 rotis.
Wow.
Yeah, or if rice is made for a curry dish, there's this much rice for this much curry. And this much rice will also go on top like puri and the garnish. It's not, yeah, so that katori of rice also will not be empty out by the time the lunch is over. So that's lunch. And dinner is usually again a protein based, so it'll be like a ragda, or it will be like if you do like
ragda without
we don't do the
potatoes.
No, we don't do it.
So you do know there's this great debate going on in America whether potato is to be put into the grain category
Mm.
or as a vegetable?
Sure, I call it starch. Okay, and it can be kept as if you want to keep that as your carb of choice. But since we're vegetarian and that chana or that ravda or that rajma is coming 65% carbs, so even the dals have 65% carbs for the 25 grams of protein. So then that is my carb of choice. Then.
Right.
I don't need extra roti, rice, potato along with it. Or if it is tacos, it's like lots of the taco and maybe one corn shell, and lots of the contour, lots of the lettuce and the salsa. Or we do the dal pakwan, where it is one pakwan and lots of tikka.
Oh.
So we're flipping the ratio on the traditional foods than the normal Indian
And what
foods.
are the fruits?
Is a snack
Okay,
or is dessert?
so there are a lot of people who go on the fruit diet, and with Navratras coming up, we know. So
Yeah.
I think that again plays havoc with your body weight, right? You may lose the weight initially,
Yeah,
so then you put it back on.
Right. So again, if you're losing water weight, you're losing muscle weight, you're protein deficient in these fasts because most of the things that they are allowed in the new religious fasting is all carbohydrate. So you're having high insulin, and then one of my colleagues told me, see James, when they do pollution, they're high uric acid at the end of pollution. It's the pulses. I was like, wait a minute. It's not the pulses. They're eating so many carbs in those 8 days of pollution. We're not looking at the carbs. And even the pulse has 60% carb, and all the menu that we do in pollution is all carb heavy. So the uric acid is always blamed on the wrong thing. But these Indian fasts are usually protein rich, but you know, it's not a health plan you're living for the 17 days of spiritual focus. It's okay, you know, things happen. We go on vacations, we go for weddings, we go for religious things. Every day doesn't need to be perfect. The body is intelligent to find its balance. But consistently, most of the days of the year, get your protein target, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Awesome. That was great conversation, great breaking down. I mean, a lot of things were very clear for me, and I thought, I had my food knowledge intact. But great, Roshni, you've been such a source of information, and thank you for watching us today. Very soon with Dr. Roshni, we're going to be talking on lifestyle disease and disorders.